Hi everybody, this is Brian David Marshall coming to you from the Tournament Center at Sun-Drenched Pro Tour San Diego. I'm here with Tom the Boss Ross, and we're here talking about his deck, Boss Naya. Large number of players are playing this deck this weekend. Got off to something like a 33-7 start through 4 rounds.
Yeah, at least 4 players are 4-0 to start off with it.
And so we're through 5 rounds of the tournament. How are you doing with it?
I'm 4-1 with it.
Okay, and some of the other players playing the deck include LSV, Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa. How are you building a deck that LSV's playing? LSV did not play with Wild Nicottle, one of the cards in this deck.
It's quite a surprise.
He did not play with that card in Limited, right? Much less play with it in Constructed.
Yeah, I'm sure the world was for sure was going to play Jace somewhere in his deck, but this deck put up numbers when we went through the gauntlet.
So talk to me a little bit about how you prepared for this event, what you were expecting to see, and then why you came to this deck.
Well, I was probably going to play Naya no matter what. Those are my color. But we played in San Jose at Luis Guy Vargas' house for a while, and we had these mock tournaments, and everybody brought their own deck that they would like to play. And this deck came up to be the favorite of the tournaments. I was playing Baneslayer, but we had the idea of a Stoneforge Mystic package. So where Behemoth Sledge kind of replaces the Baneslayer for like a hard-to-beat creature. So
let's get down to the nitty-gritty of what the deck looks like. You're starting out on turn 1, say, with a Wild Nicottle. Walk us through what this deck does.
Typical game?
Yeah.
Well, it has 6 turn 1 plays for accelerants, but it's not necessarily you have to go from 1 to 3 in your curve. We don't have that many 3-drops. It's built to have a consistent like 4-drop on turn 3 kind of thing with these and this, and we play a lot of lands like Terramorphic Expanse that kind of helps to get to the Cattles of 3/3. Our removal package is kind of low, but we felt like we didn't need it because our creatures should be superior to theirs with Behemoth Sledge and Basilisk Collar.
Yeah, now the Stoneforge Mystic's an exciting card. This is you're basically telling me that this card single-handedly replaced Baneslayer Angel in your Naya deck.
Right. Yeah, I think it's really good. It'll only get better with time too, as more equipment comes out.
Right.
It's a card like this.
The 2 equipment cards that you're able to search for are Behemoth Sledge and one of the breakout cards of the tournament, Basilisk Collar. Yeah. So it turns it's like a Naya deck that gets to play with all Vampire Nighthawks.
Yeah, I see a lot of people playing Basilisk Collar, but I think this deck can use it the best. It gets the most value out of it, especially after sideboarding.
So, and we're seeing a lot. And this is sort of like the package from the World's Naya deck that did very well.
Those are the best 4-drops available to us, that and the Johnny Vengeant. But this deck runs 3 different toolboxes in it, namely this combo has neither Reliquary to fetch up any of the 3 Mad Lands, this Tectonic Edge to keep them behind a turn, or Sejuri's Step to give a guy protection mid-combat or against a removal spell with neither Reliquary. And it has Ranger Vios, of course. So
Ranger Vios, you get to go get your Wild Nicottles, you get to go get a Scoop Mob.
Sometimes Bird of Paradise, sometimes Noble Heart. And we have a Goblin Guide in the sideboard to help attack Planeswalkers as a surprise. Okay.
And then I think one of the most exciting elements of this deck actually lurks in the sideboard. Yeah, we already talked about the Basilisk Collar, but what's more exciting than a Basilisk Collar equipped to a Cunning Spark Mage? This seems like such a little kid play, right? Like,
it works really good. Both cards are good by themselves. I bring in Cunning Spark Mage, and it's fine usually in decks that I want to bring it in against because they have a lot of 1 toughness creatures. Right. But once you get the combo going, it's pretty unbeatable.
Right. Because Basilisk Collar gives Death Touch, if you put it on a pinger, Cunning Spark Mage or anything that's doing 1 damage to a creature, it's going to kill the creature. Yeah. So you can shoot down a Baneslayer Angel.
Pretty much, and you even get to gain a life from the Basilisk Collar.
Have you shot down Baneslayer Angels in this tournament?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Shot down an Emeria Angel, which is good enough.
Seems pretty good.
Some Dauntless Escorts and another Reliquary shot down. It's been enough.
What are the other exciting cards? I noticed you have you have a suite of more equipment and another Stoneforge Mystic. Where are you bringing these in?
Bring in the extra Basilisk Collar and the Stoneforge Mystic whenever I bring in the Cunning Spark Mages. And Behemoth Sledge is really good against Jund because they have to remove each and every one of your creatures to beat you.
Okay. You already talked about the extra Goblin Guide in the board, which you're bringing in to attack.
Yeah, it's common that the Jace players will play a Jace and they'll bounce something. Then on my turn, I'll fetch up a Goblin Guide with Ranger Vios and attack it.
Okay. Right, because there's 2 counters on the Jace after they bounce something, and the Goblin Guide's just enough to finish it off. Quasali Pride Mage. What are we bringing these in for?
That's against random stuff. Eldrazi Monuments, Howling Mine decks, decks with Oblivion Ring and Honor of the Pure.
Okay. And then I assume that these are for the control decks?
Yeah,
Dauntless
we go up
Escorts?
to 4 Dauntless Escort because our deck's really bad against Day of Judgment. We found that out. It's really easy to beat a Cruel Ultimatum, but it's really hard to beat a Day of Judgment without those.
Okay. And then I guess also for the control matchups?
Yeah.
We have a couple Mana Barbs?
Yeah, a lot of the control decks with Jace can't really beat a Mana Barb once it's resolved.
Okay. So you're 4-1 right now.
Right.
You're going to go draft. And then another draft after that, and you're coming back for 5 more rounds of Standard. If you could script your closing 5 rounds, like just sort of pick your opponents in terms of matchups, what would you be looking for?
Creature decks. Decks that I can bring in the Spark Mage combo against Elves and Mono White.
You don't really care what creatures they are?
No. My creatures should be better than theirs because of the equipment, and they should be killed by the Spark Mage combo. I'm just afraid of getting blown out by Planeswalkers and Day of Judgment and just being too far behind.
So blue-white control would be a matchup you're not looking for down the stretch of the tournament?
I mean, I can beat it, but
it's tough.
It's tough sometimes.
Sure. Okay. So what are your goals for this year? I mean, you had a great season last year. You had a breakout performance at Pro Tour Honolulu. You had 2 GP top 8s, and then you won a Legacy 5K recently. So you're playing some really good Magic. What's your goal for 2010?
I guess to reach level 6, probably top 8 another Pro Tour. That'd be the realistic goals, I think. Yeah. I mean, I want to win them all, of course, but they don't always work out that way.